Thank you for the gloves.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Tips, and I've been making videos on YouTube for a little over a year now, ever since the Classic WoW announcement at BlizzCon 2017.
Yep.
During that time, I've seen a lot of Classic WoW videos pop up on my feed and other feeds claiming that one particular feature that Blizzard could implement in Classic is going to destroy the game. I've heard some people say that Vanilla's imbalance will kill Classic WoW. I've heard some people say that Vanilla's lack of new content will kill Classic WoW.
No.
I've even heard people say that smaller features related to the honor system or other systems will kill Classic WoW. And for the most part, I thought the vast majority of those videos were hyperbolic, a little bit extreme, and didn't always accurately reflect the situation when it comes to Classic, and were usually...
Can you believe that? The Classic community being hyperbolic? When has that ever happened before?
Based on private server data or private server methodology. And that said, here I am today, 1 year later, making a video about how a specific feature could kill Classic WoW.
That being said,
it's a little ironic, in all honesty. I've rolled my eyes time and time again at some of these videos, but I would not be making this video today if I did not wholeheartedly believe with full conviction that the right-click report feature, if implemented in Classic WoW the same way it is in retail today, could kill Classic. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the background story on the right-click to report feature. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to explain why it's a potential threat to Classic, and then I'm going to propose a solution based on what I think would be the best for Classic, and at the same time would not be too costly to implement on Blizzard's side from my perspective.
Here would be the cheapest way for them to do it. I want to go ahead and throw this idea out there, see what you guys think about it. You just let people do whatever the fuck. If they don't like somebody, just put them on ignore. You just don't answer the tickets. So like somebody's spamming and being an asshole, you just put them on ignore, and then that's it. It's problem solved. You don't need to worry about it at all. There it is.
So let's start at the beginning, the right-click to report feature. The right-click to report feature is a feature that allows you to click on a player's nameplate in Retail World of Warcraft, right-click that nameplate or right-click that icon,
immediately report
that
language.
player for language, cheating,
so fucking annoying,
and something else I can't really remember. But you're given a couple of options as to how to report somebody. While this feature might seem convenient and innocuous at first,
it's not.
The fact of the matter is, it is backed by an automated detection system that implements punishment onto players automatically after a certain amount of reports have been filled against a particular player.
We proved that on stream.
If I came across you in the world and I was in a party of 5 people, and for whatever reason we didn't like you, we could all right-click report you for language or spam or cheating or something along those lines, and you would automatically be disconnected from the game. And when you log back in, you would be squelched or muted, meaning that you could no longer speak in the game's chat channels.
I thought this was really funny. People were like, oh, it's not a silence, it's a squelch. Whenever all the punishments are the exact same, then who cares what it is? It's bad either way. Like, it's like, and it wasn't, right? Because I got a link to the thing that said it was a silence thing. But it's like, if it's all the same, then it's the same fucking punishment. It doesn't matter.
Now, in some more extreme cases, such as the case with Savix recently, the streamer Savix,
I still don't believe this. There's no way that Blizzard randomly banned him for win trading, and he said it was because of the RBGs. I don't believe Savix. Honestly, I don't. There's no way this happened. Because, like, do you think Blizzard's really going to uphold a win trading report? Because you can't even right-click win trade. You can't even report somebody for win trading in the right-click menu to begin with. I don't believe this happened. There's no way.
He was banned for 30 days from the game for being reported in an RBG.
No, because cheating, see, here's the difference, right? Is it like, so cheating, what you're saying is they reported him for cheating and they put in the message that, oh, it's because, what do you call it? It's because he's win trading. Do you think the Blizzard employees just right then, there's not an automated system for that because somebody has to review that behavior, right? And they banned him for win trading, not for like cheating or something like that. So that means there was a human interaction, right? I mean, come on. Does this not happen to you all the time? Well, sometimes it does, but what I mean, I never talk in chat. That's actually the big secret. Yeah, win trading falls under cheating. Yeah, but the evaluation of that would have taken a human being. And if the evaluation took a human being, that implies that the mass report was not the determining factor that caused him to get the suspension. Do you understand? Like, I don't believe it. Like, I'm not saying he's lying. I don't believe it based off of what he said. Zavix was at 1600. The suspension that he received did not necessarily have to be within the context of the thing that he was partaking in at the time in which he received the suspension.
Reported by players on the enemy team.
So you believe he's lying? I believe there's more to the story than that. I don't want to say that he's lying, right? I think that's a very strong word to use. But the evidence that he's presented to me does not make a compelling case or an airtight case that he was mass reported and he is the victim of this system. That's what I will say, absolutely. Can I get the staff? Oh, can I use staves as a DK? Fuck! Never mind. I don't need it. I can't use it. I'll take anything else that people get, though, if you don't need it.
Now, that's pretty freaking excessive if you ask me. And while I don't know the full details of that situation, I think that banning somebody automatically because of mass reporting exploits is not good, to say the least. So as you can see, the right-click to report feature can be abused very, very easily. And in this particular Reddit post, posted by Deathwang on the WoW Reddit, you can see a series of examples that he's provided that show just how easily the system can be abused and how much it can hurt players who have otherwise done nothing wrong. I'm going to show a couple of these clips real quick, a couple of these examples, and I'm going to talk to you guys right after about how I think this could be abused in Classic WoW.
Get reported for seeing a guild chat now too.
I bet you can. Everybody want to try it? Who here has a good silence?
I'm not trying it because I'm the only one who can recruit now. So.
Well, who hasn't been silenced? There, report Kingbro. Try that. Right click on Kingbro and go to language. See what happens.
Oh my god. Okay.
Hey, look, King's offline.
Oh,
no!
Wow.
Good system. Good system.
Oh no.
We can all spam report someone.
No.
Oh my god.
Actually do it to do blue, dude.
We're going right or what?
Oh, some bloom in the open
Okay,
area.
just a second. Oh yeah, this is the one that I showed you guys the other day.
T-Swift kick
Everyone reported. Everyone reported for language.
I was a mage. I remember playing against that guy.
An enemy
Hey,
left
Bloom
the
DC, Bloom DC!
What the?
DC, kill him!
Let's go. Kill him.
Holy, that's troll as.
I love how they're so happy about
Pretty
it too.
shocking. I know. And as bad as this...
I feel like just like that's so shocking. It reminds me of like, you know, whenever CNN plays the clip of somebody doing something bad and then the news anchor comes back and they look very sternly into the camera and saying, I'm sorry for having to show you that. I know how shocking it is. But, you know, this time it's just reporting people in WoW.
Is a feature in retail World of Warcraft. The reality is the right click to report feature would be 10 times worse in Classic WoW, and that has to do with the fundamental differences in gameplay between retail and Classic.
I don't know about
in retail
this.
World of Warcraft, if you get muted, you can still join a dungeon group by queuing up. You can still join LFR by queuing up. You can still go out into the world and kill pretty much every mob because every mob is pretty much easy to kill. Elites aren't challenging at all. And a squelch won't necessarily inhibit your ability to play the game.
No.
In Classic World of Warcraft, if you are muted based on false reports, you can no longer join a dungeon group because you can't communicate to anybody to ask to join. You won't be able to join any pug raids. You won't be able to group up with anybody in the world for a quest. You won't be able to do anything that requires interaction with other players. And as we know, a lot of the content in Classic WoW requires interaction with other players. It's insane. If you are squelched in Classic World of Warcraft, you literally cannot play the game. Period.
Mind
And
change.
that is a huge, huge problem. On top of that, the incentive to abuse the right-click report feature in Classic is a lot higher than the incentives in retail. In retail, there are only a few ways you can abuse this system to your...
It's incentive and impact, right? So it's like, imagine, let me give you an example. Like, so let's use the N-word, for example. Why do people go around and try to get the N-word on people's streams? It's because that person will get in trouble. If people did not get suspended for having the N-word on their stream, less people would try to do that because the impact would be lower. So the more that you can fuck somebody, the more reliable and valuable it is for you to be able to try to fuck somebody, right? You get more out of it. It's more bang for your buck. It's more bang for being a fuck. That's what it is.
Advantage. One of those ways was in the clip that you just saw during the RBG. You can have somebody disconnect in an RBG, and obviously that gives you a huge advantage over the other team. But
Yeah,
in Classic WoW, it's not just Battlegrounds where you can abuse this thing. Can you imagine, just imagine for a second, you are out in the world, and somebody comes in and they see that you're tagging their Devilsaur spawns in Ungoro. And all of a sudden, the Devilsaur Mafia, instead of killing you, just right-click, report you, and you get disconnected from the server or possibly even banned. Imagine if you're farming Frostmaw Echoes in Winterspring and somebody does that to you. Imagine if you're going after a world boss and somebody does that to you. Imagine if you're on your way to Blackrock Mountain and the opposing faction right-click reports your guild leader, and all of a sudden you no longer have a raid lead for your raid. Imagine if somebody did that to you on your grind to rank 14 and prevented you from reaching rank 14 because every time you connected in your pre-made, you would get mass reported and eventually banned. And finally, imagine if you are doing the Scarab Lord quest line, the most prestigious, iconic, broad-scoped quest in World of Warcraft history, and you're about to ring that Scarab Gong, and you are about to get that Black Karaji battle tank and the Scarab Lord title. Imagine if a competing guild or a competing set of players didn't want you to get that tank, didn't want you to get that honor, and right-clicked, reported you, mass reported you, and got you disconnected or possibly banned. The fact of the matter is, Retail WoW and Classic WoW are two different games.
I want to say one thing. Everybody's like, oh, that's just imagination. That's not going to happen. I thought of this on the first day that the system came out. I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? Like, I'm usually not honest. Well, I actually, like, whenever I'm not honest, people are happy. And whenever I am honest, they think I'm lying. I don't know why. Maybe I should just lie about everything. Well, listen, here's the point. If I wasn't streaming and I was doing RBGs, you bet your fucking ass I'd be reporting the other team. I'll be honest. Because it helps me win. Of course I'd do it. Why would I not use a tool that would help me win? I don't care about honor. It's a video game. I just want the title. I just want the points. I just want the gear. Like, just like whatever it is, I would do that. I would do that. Of course I would. Why wouldn't I? It'd be silly not to, right? And there's tons of people that are like me. And just a second. Yeah, join up for this one too, guys. Just a second. Let me make the group. And I'm a terrible person. I understand that. But the problem is that you only need, it's like, think about it as like food coloring, okay? So you have a nice, all right, imagine this. So you go to church, and you know how they have like the bowls of holy water? Imagine taking one drop of red Satan-colored food coloring and putting one drop in the holy water. It affects the entire thing. So you just need a little bit to fuck it all.
And as it stands right now, the right-click to report feature in Classic WoW has a lot more consequences than it does in retail, and the incentive to abuse the system is a lot higher in Classic because the very nature of Classic is a lot more competitive. There are so many more resources in Classic.
Okay, that I don't know. I think retail's competitive too, but we'll skip that.
That are competed over than there are resources in retail. In retail, the vast majority of nodes are phased. In retail, the world bosses are phased. Anybody can access.
It's not even about phasing. Like, Tips is right, but he's not right for that reason. We need some more people for this. Join up, guys. You have nothing better to do. You're playing WoW. What are you doing? You're sitting in Borealis? Join up for my fucking raid and give me loot, okay? Let's go. So, it's because it's multi-tap. Like, I want to kill a world boss, I just hit it. I want to click a node, somebody else click the copper node, I click it too. Back in the day, you would have to click... McConnell, did you ever do this with the nodes, where you'd steal somebody's node while they were mining it? That's a yes. Yeah, he definitely did do it. Yeah, he definitely did do it. Everybody did it. And I'll give you an example, right? This is something that I would do too. Let me set this the specializations up real quick. That way it's not messed up. Specialization prod. Oops, just a second. Fury, set role tank. And I want to make sure everybody is ready to go here. Guys, please queue with the role that I assigned you. And that way it doesn't get scuffed, okay? All right, perfect. 2 healers, or sorry, 2 tanks, 5 healers, and the rest DPS. Okay, let's go. It's multi-tap,
any
that's
of the
why.
content in retail, whereas in Classic, everything is static, everything's kept to one phase, one server, and as a result, it is far more competitive and far more reason for people to abuse the system. Now, that being said, what is the solution to the right-click to report feature? Well, I've heard people argue that this feature should be removed from the game entirely.
Yes.
And while that might seem like the go-to solution for no changes advocates, I personally don't think that's reasonable.
It's not
the
going to
right-click
happen.
to report feature isn't just an independent feature on its own. In all probability, this is linked to core Battle.net functionality. It probably is linked to how Blizzard does their entire customer service reports, and to ask Blizzard to remove it would be asking Blizzard to change their entire customer support operation, which I think is very, very unreasonable, and it's just a battle that we cannot win, period. Now, an alternative to this, and something I've heard a lot of other people suggest, and an opinion that I personally agree with, is that instead of removing right-click to report, simply change it so that it's no longer processing reports automatically, and instead, whenever a ban or a disconnect is to be issued, it is first reviewed by a personnel at Blizzard, a customer service personnel, and hopefully that will prevent a lot of these fake and false reports from going through the system and ruining people's playtime.
Yeah.
Now, I think according to Blizzard, this is already the case. All of Blizzard's reports do eventually get reviewed by a person. I think that's...
Here's what I think they could do, right? And this is my opinion. If they're so fucking hell-bent on making sure that people are punished for saying bad words, make it to where whenever somebody gets a report on their character, it takes the text from the reported line and it throws it through a filter, and the filter finds the N-word, the new F-word, any profanity. And if it finds that, then it gives them an automatic silence. And if it doesn't, then it goes to a GM. That is the actual solution. I mean, really, you just have to have a filter. And if the filter doesn't catch anything, then it gets reviewed by a GM. It's simple. And like, how hard do you think it is to make a filter? I don't know any... Look, maybe it's super hard and it's impossible for Blizzard to do, and I'm just a big dumb fucking idiot that doesn't know anything about programming, but damn, man, it seems pretty fucking simple.
Blizzard has claimed in the past, but based on some of the examples we've been given in the Reddit post today, as well as some other live action examples that I've seen Asmongold do on stream, I've seen Stay Safe do on stream, it's pretty obvious that if that's the case, it doesn't seem to be happening all the time, and that is a huge problem. In Classic WoW, it just takes one time to get somebody banned unlawfully to ruin an entire guild's experience or an entire server's experience. It's not fun to have your raid leader disconnect because of an issue like this. It's not fun to get ganged up on because you're stealing somebody's Devilsaur mob, or not even stealing, you simply tagged a Devilsaur mob that some mafia didn't want you to tag. It's not fun to be silenced because a couple of jerks wanted to screw around with you and all of a sudden you can't find a single group to group up with and play the game and have to log off.
Yep.
The bottom line is the right click to report feature is a huge weapon at the arsenal of malicious players as it stands, and unless that weapon is marginalized, it is going to wreak havoc on the Classic WoW community. And guys, I urge you to post about this on the official Blizzard forums. Be constructive, be logical, but this is a hill you should be willing to die on, figuratively speaking, because this is one of the big deal breakers in Classic WoW. This is going to be abused big time unless it's changed, and I hope Blizzard makes changes to the system and lets us know about it, because again, I believe that if this feature is implemented full stop into Classic, it could destroy the game. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, sub it up and stick around because we got more coming. For more Classic WoW content, news, and updates, you guys can follow me on Twitter, you guys can join me on Discord, all that good stuff. And yeah, if you guys want to catch my reactions to stuff like this live, you can check me out on twitch.tv/tipsoutbaby. I just got off stream right now to make this video. But aside from that, have a wonderful day, fellas. I'll see you guys on Twitch tomorrow. And as always, tips out, baby.
I have to agree. I think the right-click report system is fucking stupid. I've never liked it, and I think it's complete fucking cancer, personally. Like, and like, look at, like, almost, why does this have 600 dislikes? Like, what the fuck? Like, who disagrees with this? I'm honestly curious. If it can be abused, it will be abused. A very salty person, like,